Smells like victory.
Hello, welcome back to another exciting live stream on Napalm and OJ. What's up to Chris Black Glove Reviews in the chat? How you doing, Chris? Good to see you, man. And so, as always, for these monthly recaps of what I watched, hold on. I'm going to go through everything that I watched last month throughout April. Shout out to Dan in the chat. What's up, man? The mayor, if you know, you know. And what I'm going to start doing, if you're watching this after it's live, is I'm going to have all the movies I watched throughout the month in the description of the video. If you're curious as to like what movies I covered, what movies are coming up, if you're watching the live stream later and all that. And for the people in the chat, because some of these I'm going to move pretty fast, I may not have a lot to say. Some of them I might have a lot to say. And some of that also depends on discussion with you guys back and forth. I'm always curious to know what you guys thought of each of these movies, if you have seen them. And these are new releases, old releases, just anything that I watched. Couple TV shows in there as well. But in the chat, because I move fast on some of them, let me know if you're saying something specific. Let me know what movie you're referring to after you say what you say, just so it doesn't get confusing, because that's happened in the past. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. This will be a nice break for my extreme horror reviews for Wednesday. Hell yeah, Dan. I'm glad you can make it here tonight. Chris says, got some stuff from the Scream Factory sale on Amazon. Hell yeah, man. Then The Nest being one of those. I don't even know what that is. Hello, Ben. What's up, man? How you doing? Also, follow me on Instagram, and Instagram's the main sort of social media I keep up with currently. I also have a TikTok and stuff, but if you want to like be in the know of when I'm going live, I usually post it on my Instagram stories as well. But let's go ahead and get into this. So the first movie I watched, and I'm still trying to figure out a better format than just pulling it up, each movie up on Google. But anytime I pull movies up on like Letterboxd or whatever to showcase what movie I'm talking about, there's so many ads. Surprisingly, Google, if you're just Googling it, has less ads than Letterboxd. But anyway, the first movie I rewatched during the month of April 2026 was Triple Frontier. It's one of those Netflix like produced movies, I believe, that's currently on Netflix. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but stacked cast. We got Oscar Isaac, Ben Affleck, Charlie Hunnam, Pedro Pascal, right before his, or probably during the height of, well, yeah, it was during the height of his fame, 2019. Great military heist movie. I never heard anyone talk about this when it released or since, but I fucking love this movie. Yeah. I don't really know what else to say, or I don't want to say too much, because as with all these movies, I'm not going to spoil anything. But yeah, let me know if you've seen Triple Frontier. If you're into like military movies, again, heist movies, it's essentially a heist movie and even a little bit of a survival movie towards the end. You no longer have Netflix, screw them. I don't either, actually. This is one that I watched with my dad over at their house. And they have Netflix, but I'm not paying for Netflix. Fuck Netflix, I agree. Heard Tremble Frontier was pretty good action film. Yeah. Oddly enough, though, because I like to watch movies and then listen to podcasts of other people discussing movies and YouTube channels discussing movies. Shout out to Flesh Wound Features. Go check them out. Surprisingly, when I looked up podcasts on this movie, the two that I listened to were very negative and hated the movie. I don't know why, but I don't know. I love it. If you like Sicario, if you like, movies like that, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with it to me. Yeah. All right. So moving on. Next movie I watched was not even a movie, but this bleeds into last month or the month before last as well, but I've been rewatching Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David, created by Larry David, I believe. At least co-created. I don't know. Why did I type in Larry David? I meant to type in Curb. Great fucking show. I don't know. I didn't want to start with season one for some reason. I guess, first of all, season one's great. But I don't know. I wanted to just start once they got their footing. So I started season two, season three. Then I actually went back and watched season one. Just because I was like, why did I skip it? Season one's fucking great too. There's no reason to skip season one. I feel like this is one of those shows that is so smartly written and funny. The soundtrack in any other show would be utterly horrible. You could say the same thing about Seinfeld too, I guess. But it fits so well with the show itself that I don't like. Isolated, I think the music is terrible, even the theme song, but it's so iconic and matches like the show and the content of the show so perfectly that you can't hate on it. Hey, what's up, Barney? Barney's in the chat. Triple Frontier was pretty good. Hell yeah. Sicario is top 20 for me, film-wise. Dude, hell yeah. Me too, man. Ben says, same, cancel Netflix. If there's something on that platform I need to watch, I'll go an alternate route. I agree. Ever since I'm not ashamed to admit that I was leeching off of my family for Netflix. And as soon as they cut out, like, sharing passwords, password sharing or whatever, it's been a middle finger for me, man. Fuck Netflix. I'm really hoping, and so far I think we're good, hoping that like Hulu and Amazon don't follow suit and, all the other streaming platforms. A few of those I'm paying on my own, but still, that just sucks for not only me, but a lot of people and all you guys as well, I'm sure. So, yeah. Let's see. Just watched The Mummy, if anyone cares. Oh, yeah. I care, and we'll be talking about that here in a minute, Barney. It is on my list. Again, all the movies, if you're watching this after the fact, I'm going to update it after the live stream. I'll have a list of all the movies I covered in the description for future reference and people watching. But yeah, save your comments on The Mummy for right now until we get to it. Because I've got a lot to say. That'll be probably a lengthy discussion on this live stream between us. Yeah. Max is always best, in my opinion, stream-wise. I agree. Speaking of Curb Your Enthusiasm, HBO Max, I agree, is like the kind of the best one out there right now. They've always got the best stuff, in my opinion, for the most part. But Barney does say that he had low expectations for The Mummy based on general reviews, but ended up liking it. Well, hell yeah, man. No, you're good, Barney. You're good. But yeah, we'll definitely be getting more into The Mummy here in a minute. Next up. Oh, and anyway, Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm on season 4, which after looking up like what seasons unanimously among fans are like the favorites for Curb. Everyone says season 4, which is the Mel Brooks producers season where Larry gets cast to co-star with Ben Stiller in the Broadway production of The Producers. I still don't know what the hell The Producers is. I guess it's some like highly reputable theater production, but I always found that season to be kind of one of the worst, but I don't know. I'm only on season 2 right now, or episode 2 of season 4, so far so good, you know. Um, but yeah. Your opinion on Primate? Dude, I loved Primate. Um, that was a great way to start the year off. Just one of those great slasher movies. Monkey killing people. Um, directed by the guy who did 47 Meters Down Uncaged, my personal favorite. One of my personal favorite shark movies. And similarly, Primate is just kind of fun slop that's not revolutionary by any means, but it's great. The blood's great. The gore's great. What more can you ask for, you know? A monkey ripping people's faces and arms off. Hell yeah. Same, but I get Max for free with my cell phone plan. Hell yeah. All right, the next movie. And I was glad to see that I'm pretty sure, I know Ben liked it. And I'm pretty sure Dan liked it as well. And that's The Drama. Now, personally, I'm a big fan of Robert Pattinson. I could take or leave Zendaya personally. I don't really care either way. And so there's this big moment in the drama that I'm not going to spoil that is kind of the hook of the movie and the promotional material. And I thought it paid off. I thought it worked well with the movie. I thought it fit well. It was making me throughout the runtime question, like, how would I react in that situation? And it's one of those movies where if you don't connect with it on that level, where you're asking those similar questions yourself, it may not totally land for you, but I thought it was great. Robert Pattinson's great. I really hope the Batman 2 is going to happen. It looks like it is. We've been getting slow, like, news about production for the Batman 2, but that's besides the point. Chris says, I know people were mixed on Primate, but love the fact Paramount has released some good horror the last few years. Dan says, the drama is fucking awesome, but don't read too much and have it spoiled. Exactly. Hopefully I was very vague, because the last thing I want to do is ruin it for anyone as well. All right. The drama is one of those, Ben says, one of those movies that leaves you discussing with friends. What would you do in that situation? I've talked to lots of people about it. Yeah. Exactly. Clayface looks good. Yeah. I'm very curious about that. I'm wondering if they're going to tie that into the Batman with Robert Pattinson world. Who's directing that? I forgot. Clayface, that is. Dan says the drama is one of my favorites so far this year. Me too. That makes sense, Dan. And actually, at the end of this live stream, I'll give my updated top 10 of the year so far list. And that changes a lot throughout the year, especially as more movies come out, obviously. But I do maintain that this year has continued to be an amazing year. Week after week, we've been getting good stuff. I will say April had a slow week or two, though. But still, there were still some bangers in there, as we're covering right now. Chris says, I love True Detective. I've still never watched Beyond. It's one of those situations, hear me out, where I started watching season 1 of True Detective, and I liked it so much. And look, you're what I'm about to say, you're either going to totally agree with and understand, and you've experienced this as well, or you're in the camp that has no clue what the fuck I'm talking about and it doesn't make sense at all to you. But have you ever watched something that's so good that clicks with you so much right away? Whether it's a movie or a TV show that you almost don't want to watch it often, like rewatch it, because you don't want to get tired of it. You want to almost like savor the experience. That's how True Detective was for me. I was enjoying season 1 so much that I actually stopped watching it because I'm like, man, I don't want this to end. So I'm gonna slow down and take my time. And then I just got busy with life, and that's happens to me a lot with TV shows. But there's several movies that I love so much that I don't want to rewatch them very often. You know, maybe once a year max, because I don't want to ever get tired of it. And you could argue and say, well, if it's so good, then you should be able to watch it over and over and never get tired of it. I disagree. I think even a movie that's like perfect and amazing, you could still if the CIA tied you up and forced you to watch it over and over and over, I think you would start to hate it. But anyway, let me know what your thoughts on that topic is, because I sometimes feel alone in that camp of loving something so much, like a movie, that I don't want to watch it very often. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, I don't know how to convince you otherwise. Barney says True Detective season 1 is my favorite. Ben says the guy who did Eden Lake and Speak No Evil directed it. Wait, directed what? True Detective? Um, Chris says thoughts on Psycho Killer. Is that this month? Did I watch that? Oh, that was I did talk about that. I believe, yeah, last month on that live stream. So go check that out. Or was it the one before? Oh, it was the February live stream. I loved it. I mean, I didn't like completely love it. The third act I thought was kind of weak with some of the crazy character motivations and end goal, but there's so much to love in Psycho Killer. The overall, I loved it. But anyway, Chris says thoughts on Psycho Killer. I was pleasantly surprised by that one. I really liked it. The ending fell flat though. I completely agree. Anyone who's into horror needs to watch it though. Psycho Killer was a mess, but I had a lot of fun with it. Same here. McDowell is, as always, his bonkers best, and I like the kills, but the 3 Mile Aisle angle, I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, I get that. Um, I'm kind of like that with Twin Peaks now. Watch season 1 and 2 in a week or so, but season 3 has taken me a month. And yeah, I've been talking to Ben in our group chat as he's been watching Twin Peaks, and that's one of the other shows that I'm currently rewatching. Um, but yeah, I'm glad to hear. I think that you're liking it based on that statement, but based on our discussion in the private chat, it has been hard to tell, Ben, if you've been completely enjoying Twin Peaks or not. And it is a show that does go off the rails in plenty of times. So it's almost like there's so much to really love, but there is some drawbacks. Yeah. I agree. I've only seen the first season of True Detective. And Ben says, I'm in no hurry to finish, referring to Twin Peaks. Oh, the guy who directed Clayface. Oh, okay. That sounds pretty cool. The guy who directed Clayface directed, what did you say it was? Eden Lake and. Oh, Speak No Evil. Hell yeah. Zendaya is overrated, says Chris. I kind of agree. What I they haven't I don't know if Eric Dane did he die before or after they filmed season 3? Cuz so far he hasn't been in the show, but as far as I know he's still alive within the world. I don't think he died in season 2, but I'm wondering if he's going to show up at all. Season 4 of True Detective with Jodie Foster was also pretty good, says Barney. Hell yeah. I really need to get back into that and start watching True Detective again. Again, I liked it so much in a way that like is very rare for me to like something in that way. Twin Peaks is probably the closest example I can give. But anyway, sorry, we've been. This has been a good discussion though. But let me move to the next movie. This was also another movie. This was not my choice at all. This was sort of a family watch, and I've put my family and my parents through a lot of shit. Like I made them watch Hereditary and Midsommar. But so my mom was like, "All right, you're gonna have to let us pick the movie this time, because we're not watching some little girl get her head knocked off by a telephone pole in a moving car." So my mom chose this movie, and I wouldn't say it's god awful, but you don't need to watch it. That's about it. It's one of the most like just average sort of. It kind of is a mom movie, to be honest. All right, let me catch up with the chat real quick. He died after, I believe. Okay. He passed in February. Too young to leave this earth. Yeah. Midsommar is great. 7 out of 10. Hell yeah, man. I agree. I like Hereditary more. I'd almost say I like Beau is Afraid more. I really love Beau is Afraid. I know I'm in the minority with that, but I fucking love Beau is Afraid. Have your parents watched Mandy, Hayden? That's a top 10 for me. Oh, hell yeah. I don't think they have. I don't think I have subjected them to that. And they're not, just for the record, again, they are not adventurous film fans. They probably watch like about the same amount of movies as the average Joe who's not like particularly interested in movies. Um, Maybe they go a little more than the average, but they're in no like they probably have no clue what Mandy even is. So that would be a great one to show them. I fucking love Mandy. And it's definitely a top 10 for me too. Watch Baby Girl and Death of Dick Long with your parents. They aren't horror films. I haven't seen Death of Dick Long, but yeah, I did see Baby Girl, and I don't think I want to watch that with my parents. JBL looks like he appreciates a good horror film. You know, I think some of the ones I've shown them, I think they liked, but it's hard to tell. And yeah, the Baby Girl with Nicole Kidman, just for the record. All right, moving on from this shitty movie. I rewatched Team America World Police, and I could have sworn the DVD copy that I own was the unrated, uncut version. It's not. And I know they released a 4K a year or two ago, probably more than a year or two, but and it was also not the uncut version. So I don't know where the fuck you can buy the uncut version, but I really want to own the uncut version. Still a hilarious movie. I was a little depressed because, to be honest, overall, I don't think I laughed as much as I did when I first saw this, the first like 10 times. And I don't know if that's just age or my humor changing as I've gotten older or what, but same with like some of the old Will Ferrell movies when I rewatched. Last time I rewatched Step Brothers, I kind of felt the same way. And that's kind of depressing because I used to think like every second of Step Brothers, every second of this movie was like hilarious. And that's changed. And it's, again, it's kind of like depressing, and I don't know why. I don't know why it's my humor has changed or whatever, but Team America 2 would make money. Yeah, but unfortunately, based on the behind the scenes information that I've read on and stuff, seems like they hated making this movie. It's created by Matt Stone and Trey Parker, the South Park guys, and they like vowed to never make another like marionette movie again. So I highly doubt, at least, especially at this point, I highly doubt we're ever gonna see a sequel, unfortunately. But yeah, let's see. Sorry, I missed a few of the comments. Let me scroll up a little bit. Watch Match with your mom, dude. I still need to watch that myself because you guys have been like begging me to watch it, and I'm very curious to see what the fuck that's all about. Hayden, I want a review of Death of Dick Long from you immediately. I thought that was just like a documentary about some director's dad who died. Obviously not. if if Dan really wants me to see it, hopefully it's fucked up because I love fucked up shit. CM Punk likes horror. Interesting. That's cool. I know he was in Night Patrol, one of my favorites from the year. So I'm glad to hear that he's into horror. Other than that, I don't know much about CM Punk. I just know people shit on him when he joined the UFC because he was a WWE guy or whatever. But she'd appreciate that mom's dedication to helping her kid find love. What the fuck, Ben? What are you talking about? Is that what Match is about? Consider it a belated birthday gift. Wait, what? The Dick Long movie? Where can I watch that? Is that streaming anywhere right now, Dan? Oh yeah, happy late birthday to Dan. I said happy birthday to you at the in the private chat on your birthday. Chris says yes, America, fuck yeah. The uncut is the only way to see the puppet scat. I know. And apparently the sex scene is also like more graphic, and I'm wondering how the hell they did that and what that's all about. Oh shit, Dan, do they not? They do not have the balls to do it. I saw Team America in the theater. Holy shit, it was epic. Was it epic? Dude, that's fucking awesome, man. I would love to see that in the theater. Death of Dick Long is one of the better A24 movies that people haven't seen. Who directed it? Is that the movie that's directed by the guy who died's daughter? Or am I thinking of some other movie? It might be some other movie I'm thinking of. Watch Match with your parents. Okay, I'm definitely, based on how much you guys are urging me to do that, I'm definitely not going to do that. The special is good, as a good one to me. I think it's still on Amazon Prime. The special, okay. $2.99 on Amazon rental. You won't be sorry. Okay. Orc, what's up? How you doing, man? Ben says, "Oh man, I've been trying to get these guys to watch the special, but nobody has bitten." I don't even know what the fuck that is, if I'm being honest. I don't think I've even heard you talk about it, Ben. What is the special? Let's look it up right now, real quick. We're taking a detour. An hour and a half independent horror thriller film directed by blah blah blah, focusing on themes of addiction, obsession, and betrayal. The plot follows Jerry, who's suspecting his wife of infidelity, is led by his friend into a dark supernatural and body horror filled experience known as The Special. That sounds interesting as fuck. That really does, actually. Where can I watch this? Did you already say? Oh, it's on Amazon. Oh, fuck yeah. Let me write this down. Hold on. Where the fuck is a pen? There it is. Okay. The Special, Match, and Death of Dick Long. How long was his dick? I guess I'll have to watch to find out. All right, thank you guys for the recommendations. I know you guys have been recommending The Match, or just Match, to me forever. The Special is great, says Chris. Daniel Scheinert directs it. Okay, the movie I was thinking of, a woman directed it, and it's about the death of her father, or her father being like, before he died. I don't even know. I don't know what movie that is, though, that I'm thinking of. Go into The Special blind, Hayden. Okay, then I will not look up any more about it. Okay. Team America 2, where they have to Weekend at Bernie's Kamini. Or it says, I don't know what you watched in April, but I'm checking out Mortal Kombat Friday and maybe Star Wars 2 later, or Star Wars 2 weeks later. There's a new Star Wars movie, or oh, are you talking about the Mandalorian Grogu movie? But yeah, Dan says, nice. Glad you're getting out of the theater. Hell yeah, man. Support theaters. Go see movies at the theater, goddammit. And yeah, as far as like you don't know what I watched April, well, you're in luck because you're here right now watching me talk about what I watched in April. So, welcome. I still need to see Bring Her Back. Yeah, you do. I think that's on HBO, I believe. I could be wrong. It might be on a different streaming service, but I know it's online streaming somewhere. Go and do Death of Dick Long Blind 2. It's much like the drama. Oh, interesting. Yep, dropping weight fast too, says the work. Hell yeah, man. Me too. It's still been a slow process, but I've managed to lose like 2 to 3 pounds a month for the past few months, which I know it doesn't sound like much, but hey, it adds up and I'm heading in the right direction. So everything I'm doing is working, I guess, which that's good. Seeing Deepwater and Hokum tomorrow. Yeah, I should have said this up front, but out of all the movies I'm talking about here tonight, Hokum is the one movie you gotta go see. I got to see it early at the AMC Scream Unseen showing about a week or two ago, and it just came out. It's at the theaters currently. It's fucking awesome. You have to go see it. Save any further thoughts, though, for that movie in the chat, because we will get to that and have a discussion about it here in a few minutes. Probably more than a few minutes, but um, let's see. Seeing Deepwater tomorrow as well, says Dan. I will also be talking about that at the very end of the show because I just saw that. Yeah, a lot from 2025 I need to watch. I still need to do best of 2025. Hell yeah, man. I love watching other people's like top movies of the year and shit. I think I'm most excited for a remake or whatever the hell they're doing with TCM. That will be so interesting, especially since um, the guy who did Obsession, which is coming out, and he did that serial movie. I still haven't seen that, but I love the dude's comedy. So and that'll be interesting seeing him do a Texas Chainsaw movie. Any progress is progress. Hell yeah. Keep at it. Thanks, man. That F-13 series needs to come out, but not till a few months. Yeah, when the fuck is that coming out? And what the fuck is that? I can't remember. Is that like, are you referring to like A24 making their series? Or is this like the Jason Universe thing? I'm so confused when it comes to Friday the 13th and what's going on. There's just like, it's good that there's developments within that world though. Because I'll take anything I can get at this point for that property, but I have no clue what the fuck's going on though, personally. Man, I can't say I'm very excited for Crystal Lake. I'm just not a TV guy unless it's Breaking Bad or Eastbound and Down levels of God tier, says Orc. Hell yeah. Not even going to watch any slasher TV show. Chris says the trailer intrigues me, Dan. They have a trailer for the fucking Crystal Lake thing? What the? Where have I been, dude? I mean, I know I don't like watch trailers and try not to watch trailers, but that's a trailer that I kind of need to see. Fuck. Maybe we'll watch that at the end of the show, like we did last live stream, where I watched trailers for some of the shit that you guys like let me become aware of and recommend. Dan says, I've heard there's a scene where Leatherface gets fucked by the cook in the new one. Uh, is that true? Because I don't think they've even started filming. Didn't they just announce the director? I don't know, unless you're referring to something else. The Crystal Lake series. I'm a huge Friday the 13th mark. You have no damn clue. Well, thanks for keeping me updated because I had no clue about that. Orc says, as am I. Hell yeah. All right, let's move on to the next movie that I watched. And this is another one of those, like, movies that I thought was pretty damn great. And that's The Faces of Death. 2026. Reboot, continuation, in universe, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Well, it's not in. It's in like the world that we live in, where Faces of Death, the original, exists, which I thought was personally a very cool way to do this. I was really surprised and impressed at how well the structure of everything was and how they incorporated the original movie and all that. I'll say the ending was a little lackluster and predictable, but you know, everything else was pretty interesting and entertaining in my book. So, yeah, this is a thumbs up from me. Apparently, it didn't do good at the box office, which is kind of disappointing because I think it deserves to do good, and it would have been cool to see it do good, but oh well. Dan with the fake news. um, or it says, but Chucky past Friday, past Halloween, past it would have to score like 8 on IMDb, Meta, Letterboxd, Google for me to even consider watching a slasher series. Instead of head cheese, what's up, Scratch? By the way, and Scratch Burno says instead of head cheese, they feast on the Formunda cheese. I'm afraid I don't get the reference. I'm sorry. Chris says we waited this long for what meta crap and FOD, but hell, I guess you like it. Yeah, you didn't like it. I don't know. I didn't really know what angle they were gonna take. I didn't see any trailers beforehand. Um, I thought it was pretty well done though, and pretty interesting. Like this guy is kind of recreating the original Faces of Death and he's like obsessed with getting social media clicks and all that. I thought it was pretty, and I had a pretty interesting commentary on society or whatever you want to call it. Like your opinions on that work? I can really be into anything slasher related, but yeah, I can agree on that. There's things in slashers you should not touch rules wise. Well, like when the maybe I'm wrong on this, but when the fuck has there ever been like a good slasher series? I don't think they're really like. I mean, I've heard literally the series Slasher, called Slasher. I think that's what. Excuse me. I think that's what it's called. I've heard that's good, but I haven't seen it personally. But yeah, I'm obviously more of a movie guy than a TV series guy, but yeah. Ben says, yeah, I liked how they did Faces of Death as far as turning it from random assortment of death scenes to a slasher. The one chick from Euphoria went full auntie mode in her clothing, but it was funny. Not seen new Faces of Death yet, so I have no right to criticize. Oh, okay. Crazy Ralph. I mean, if you have seen it and you don't like it, but I like it, or vice versa, because there's some movies that I think most people liked that I'm about to shit on in this live stream. Just remember, I'm not shitting on the fact that you like it or don't like it. Don't let my opinion ever change your opinion. Slasher Season 2 Guilty Party is the best of that series. I heard the Slasher season in the snow is pretty good. Interesting. All right, well, let's move on to the next movie. I need to probably move a little faster. Well, no, I'm about halfway. Well, no, I'm not quite halfway yet. So next, I'd seen a clip from this movie floating around online on social media forever, and I'd always been very, very curious about it. And just the context behind the scene. I will say, even though I feel like the scene is still great and fits in with the overall message of this movie, I think the scene isolated is almost like more powerful in a way than the movie as a whole. And that movie is The Square. And the scene I'm referring to is the monkey scene where they're having like a rich dinner party. And this is like for a museum. So this is basically like an interactive sort of museum exhibit experience thing that they were putting on. Spoiler, well, mild spoiler for that scene, but the actor who plays the monkey, like he comes in, he's a human, but he's got like these crutch things on, and he's acting like a monkey, but he doesn't break and starts fucking with the rich people at the tables, and he until he crosses the line and people have to finally step in. But it's a commentary on how far will we just try to blend in with the crowd and not do anything if something extreme is happening or bad is happening. At what point do people as a society feel like, oh, or as an individual, feel like, oh, I need to step in now. And that's kind of what the whole movie is commenting on as a whole, and I really enjoyed it. And this is by the director who did Triangle of Sadness, which I have not seen. This was the first movie of his that I have seen, but I think I'm going to change that, and I'm going to continue watching this guy's films and watch Triangle of Sadness very soon. And if you like Triangle of Sadness, I can only imagine you would probably like this movie too. So I think it's streaming on Hulu right now, or when I watched it. So definitely go give it a shot. It's kind of an artsy, up its own ass movie, But in my opinion, in a good way, it really hit for me personally. All right, Chris says Slasher, I think, has like 5 seasons. One of them on Shudder called Ripper. Dan says we just did all the Faces of Death movies. I forgot how goofy 4 is. Are they all the same like format? Are they all just interlaced realistic or real death scenes with slight commentary in between? I'm curious. Faces of Death 3 is like an FF film. I like that. Triangle of Sadness, you'll like, says Dan. Hell yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Also, a new one from this year, Body Cam, is a fun, campy, found footage film, 6 out of 10. Moving on, I finally, and thank you to Cousin Dale, I watched the movie It Ends, which I've been meaning to get to for a while. It was one of those elusive movies for a while that played it at like a festival or something, and then failed to get distribution right off the bat and was kind of in limbo for a while, and then finally it's released somewhat publicly where if you want to watch it, I'm not positive if it's streaming anywhere, but if you really want to find it, you can find it. And I'd heard mixed things. Apparently some people weren't happy with how it ended and the direction it went. I kind of saw, or no, I was kind of expecting something different, completely different than what we got. But overall, I think I'm happy with the film overall and how it ended. And I thought it was pretty good. And I'm really glad I watched it finally. So yeah, check it out if you can. The movie It Ends. It's one of those like sort of time loop movies where these teens are driving on a road and all of a sudden the road just doesn't end, and they can't find their way out, and they realize they're stuck in a loop, and that's all I'm going to give away. I'm not going to give the main sort of horror element that happens away, but it was a good movie. This was a theater watch. Finally getting on to a theater watch. Exit 8. I don't have a lot to say about this. It was pretty good. Nothing that's going to make my top 10 of the year. But it was definitely a unique, fun, well, not fun necessarily, but an interesting movie that is based on a video game. Japanese movie. Also about a time loop. It's kind of ironic that both of these movies are literally like similar concepts that I watched back to back. I didn't even realize that until right now, but yeah, I don't know. I don't. This is one that I don't really have a lot to say, but let me know what you thought about it. I'd say it's worth watching, and I could see a lot of people really liking it more than I did. Um, but for me, it was just like, yeah, this is good. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. This is a classic movie, this next one, and that is Stalker. No, not that Stalker. 1979, directed by Tarkovsky. Andrei Tarkovsky. I had a friend who watched this for the first time a couple years ago, and he had been telling me that I need to watch this for a while. So I finally did. It's on HBO Max. Fox Pixar created the bus station and Exit. Yeah. Oh, nice. Have you watched Solaris? No, I haven't. This is to my knowledge, I think the first Andrei Tarkovsky movie I've seen. I own Mirror that I bought from the Criterion Collection during one of their sales just for the hell of it, because the trailer that they were promoting it with made it look really trippy and cool looking, and but I still haven't watched it, even though I own Mirror. But yeah, Chris says I have Stalker from Criterion, based on the book Roadside Picnic, and I will say this makes me want to read the book. This movie also has similarities to Alex Garland's Annihilation, which is also based on a book, different book, but they share the idea that a meteor or something crashed and created a zone that no one has ever returned from. Or no, people in this movie, people have returned, but it's very dangerous and ominous and all of that. I will say, immediately after finishing it, I didn't like it. But this is also one of those movies that has a lot of layers, a lot of symbolism, a lot of metaphors that I don't think hit me right away. But there's a lot of discussion to be had about this movie. This is one of those movies that I can only imagine film students for generations have been writing papers about, because it's one of those movies where you can really go in depth with it. And I really, so initially I didn't know if I liked it as a whole, but I recognized immediately during my watch that, man, the cinematography though is really great. The way everything looks when they're in the zone. I think honestly, some of what threw me off is the initial sepia tone, because everything looks like this for the first like 20 minutes of the movie. And I don't know, it didn't look good to me. It looked like a movie that was made in like the 1900s, early 1900s. I was like, when was this made? 79. What the fuck? This doesn't look like an almost 80s movie to me. But then once they get to the zone and things kind of become more colorful, but in a dark sort of way, like everything's kind of hazy and cloudy. And ironically, after, I don't know if this is irony, but after I watched this movie, like the next day, we had a very cloudy, kind of stormy day. And it kind of motivated me to go out with my camera and capture some like landscapes. And I took a bunch of videos that of stuff that kind of like looks like it could be placed in this film. Like I had these locations in my mind before watching the movie of where I wanted to go shoot, things I wanted to go shoot. But when I saw this movie, I'm like, and the weather lined up with like, I don't know, because the locations were similar to things that were in this movie. There's like a couple downed like power line things, or they're doing like construction on these big electrical towers or whatever that the electrical lines go across. So there's just these big pieces of electrical tower just like sitting there in this overgrown sort of like, not wooded, but kind of just in this brush sort of country road area that I always thought would be cool to capture with my camera. And after seeing this movie and then seeing the weather and how cloudy it was, I'm like, I need to go shoot that. And it was almost inspired by this movie. Still haven't figured out how to put the shots that I got together into anything that would be exciting to share with anyone, but still, it was a kind of a fun little experiment that I did by myself. But anyway, overall, I think if someone hated this movie and thought it was slow as fuck and that there's no real danger shown while they're traveling to this room within the zone that apparently if you go into the room it'll grant your deepest desires or wishes or whatever. If someone says that they didn't like it, I would understand. If someone says this is their favorite movie, I would understand. For me, I appreciate the mastery and the depth that and the layers that it does have. But I also found some of what or some of the discussion around the themes of this movie to be slightly like pretentious and a little bit of reaching to some degree. Nonetheless, though, I do like the movie, and I'm curious to watch Mirror and Solaris and to see what else Tarkovsky has to offer. But overall, I would say I like Annihilation a lot more, and I know they're totally two different movies with different styles, but you can't help but notice the similarities. Um, but yeah, no, I haven't seen Solaris or any of his other or even Mirror yet. Chris says he's got Mirror. Hell yeah, man. Chris also says Annihilation is very good, 7 out of 10. Oh yeah, I rewatched that not long ago. I think I talked about it on a live stream, but I love Alex Garland. I love Annihilation. I love all his movies, but Annihilation is pretty damn good. I like it. There's a Cursed Films episode about this. Dude, yeah, I need to watch that cuz similar to the plot of the movie to some degree, like a bunch of the cast and crew and Tarkovsky himself died prematurely because of possible like poisoning or radiation from where they filmed this movie. So there's a darkness almost kind of like connected to this movie as well. That's honestly probably more interesting than the film itself, if I'm being brutally honest. But nonetheless, but yeah, as Dan said, several actors and crew died. The director is legendary. I know Solaris is a fucked up story. The remake with Clooney, I heard, is quite good too. I love Stalker and Solaris. Solaris, I'm not sure how you say it. Knowing the history of the production makes it even more interesting. That I can agree with. Yeah, definitely. All right, so moving on. All right, where's Barney? Is it was Barney, right, who was talking about Lee Cronin's The Mummy, right? I think it was Barney. Yeah, Barney, are you still in here? So we're going to Lee Cronin's The Mummy. First of all, it pisses me off a little bit when any director puts their name like this in front of the title of their movie. It's just pretentious as fuck, and I don't like it. Especially when it's a director like this that what has he done? He did the fucking shittiest of the Evil Dead movies. Um I'll be honest, I haven't even seen the whole movie of Evil Dead Rise, but no one said anything good about it when it came out. And he hasn't done anything else that I like noteworthy that I've seen, and I looked it up afterwards. So I don't know. The only explanation that Ben made me aware of actually is that they probably did it so that it would differentiate itself from the other Mummy franchise movies, from the classics to Brendan Fraser and all that, especially with them having a new Brendan Fraser Mummy movie in the works apparently. but still. And I've heard people criticize people that criticize this movie for being not enough of a mummy movie. But I think they're right. It's not really much of a mummy movie. And I know some of you might hate on me for saying that, because apparently you're not supposed to say that a movie that's blatantly copying elements from The Exorcist, apparently you're not supposed to say that it's ripping off The Exorcist instead of the Mummy ideas for some reason. But yeah, it's almost more of an Exorcist movie, because it literally is a demon that's taken over this girl. There's no mummification involved. I will say though, the movie is decent though. It sounds like I'm kind of shitting all over it right now, but I did enjoy it. I didn't love it. There were some editing choices where like something will happen and then they'll just cut to the next day or the next scene, and it's like, okay, well, how the fuck did that resolve itself? They don't tell us. There's a bunch of shit like that happens that kind of pissed me off while watching this movie. The blood and gore effects were expertly executed, and there's a lot of it. Um, but there's almost too much of it, though. Even for me, who loves Terrifier and loves gore, and typically I'm on the side of the more gore, the better. The more extreme gore, the better. This, even more so than Terrifier, the Terrifier movies, felt like they were only doing it to try to gross us out. It didn't really have a lot of relevance at a certain point to the plot. I feel like they lost the plot entirely at a certain point. And not to mention the whole movie is because they're trying to resurrect a bird. It opens with this family who lives in fucking Egypt or whatever, I think. They get home and their bird's dead. And so to try to resurrect, the mom's like, the little girl's crying because the bird died. They really like hammer home that this movie is entirely about the bird. But then they never even mention the bird again after, though. But the mom's like, "Oh no, I'll be able to resurrect the bird, and we can save him, honey. Don't worry." So then her and the husband go down after she crushes the bird and finishes him off. I don't know if that's a part of the process. I guess the bird has to be completely dead to resurrect him. So anyway, they go down into their basement that is more of a tomb, like a dirt tomb, to some guy who is a mummy. I guess they're going to get him to resurrect the bird, but instead they accidentally let him out completely, and yeah, I don't know. And then shit goes off the rails. Um, so I don't know. From the beginning, I'm like, this whole thing's kind of stupid. Like, they're going through a lot of shit to try to get this damn bird resurrected. Like, what the fuck? You know? Um, I don't know. That's like all I could think about for the first like 30 minutes of the movie is like, how is this helping the goddamn bird? What the fuck? Because again, they made it very clear we're trying to resurrect the bird. But then they never mentioned the bird again. So it's like, that was kind of stupid. If you go into this movie viewing it as like a demon possession movie, though, or even like it fits more into like the Conjuring or Evil Dead sort of universe than it does the Mummy universe. I mean, I know it's not trying to fit in with the other Mummy movies that exist, but if you view it more as a demon possession of a little girl movie, I think you'll have more fun with it. Um, But yeah, I don't know. It felt like the movie was way too long. Even though, like I said, there are several scenes where some crazy shit happens and then they just cut away and everything's all of a sudden fine and peaceful within the household. Even though 5 seconds ago grandma was getting eaten by wolves, but they don't show you how that kind of resolved itself. Um, it just felt long as fuck, and just felt like they started throwing gore at us just to try to disturb us. Um, and I know I'm in the minority there. This is one of the movies that I feel like, me being honest with my complaints is probably going to rub people the wrong way who did really enjoy it. I'm afraid to even look at the comments right now to what you guys are saying. But if you really enjoyed it, again, don't let my opinion take that away from you. But yeah, I don't know. This movie, if it came on TV, if cable existed still, and I was flipping channels, I'd probably keep it on and finish it though. The director is legendary. Oh, you're talking about Tarkovsky. I thought you were talking about Lee Cronin. I'm like, I don't know about that. Wait, I already read that anyway. I like Evil Dead Rise, 6.5 out of 10. Okay. Dan says, I mean, it's silly, especially just accepting that your daughter is obviously a demon, especially when her skin just falls off, but it's still fun. And yeah, I think most of my criticisms are if you are trying to take it seriously, but this movie presents itself as a movie that's trying to take itself seriously, but then they throw these random moments. I didn't even mention the random moments of comedy that kind of throw off the tone entirely in a negative way for me. Like, as soon as they get this bitch home, after the doctor clearly said, like, no, like, sudden, like, movements of her, be careful around her, no loud noises, that sort of thing. They're literally taking her up like 3 flights of stairs in a fucking wheelchair, banging on every fucking step as hard as they can, shaking her damn body. It's like, no wonder she wants to kill these motherfuckers. I'd probably want to slaughter them too. Holy shit. And it's the same problem I have with almost every, well, no, literally every, fucking, what's the weapons guy? I'm going blank on his name. Zach Kreger. It's the same problem I have with Weapons and Barbarian. It's like it's trying to be two different movies at the same time. It's trying to be like a slapstick comedy, but also trying to be a serious, dark horror movie. But it's not meshing well at all. I feel like they needed to cut out those moments of comedy, and this could have been a very dark movie, but the moments of comedy ruined the movie for me personally. I don't know. They didn't do it right. But I'm very picky when it comes to horror and comedy. I think you either got to be full in, like the Ready or Not movie, full in with the comedy and the satire and all that, and know what you are, or go completely dark. And this one just, with the comedy, ruined it for me. I'm sorry. Let's see. But it is, I do agree, though. It is still fun. But it shouldn't be fun. It was like so close to being dark as shit in a cool way. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, Terrifier, that's over the top with the gore, knows what it is. This movie's like, we're gonna bang her around like Naked Gun style on the staircase before putting her in bed after the doctor literally just said don't bang her around. You know what I mean? It's literally like Naked Gun level comedy at moments, but then they go back to being all dark and sinister. and it just doesn't work for me. Um, I went in expecting a decent Evil Dead movie, and it delivered on that aspect. Fair enough, I guess. Also, a VHS tape being durable enough to survive the Egyptian elements. You know what? I didn't even nitpick that. Um, I'll admit that was probably the coolest part of the movie is the found footage element towards the end with that tape, though. The dad definitely went Richard Gere on that bird. Resurrected a bird. Bird dying was just a sign that they need to replace the body. Oh well, that they totally did not make that clear enough. Because I'm pretty sure, like, maybe I'm wrong, but I could have sworn there was dialogue about we're gonna resurrect the bird, honey. We're gonna fix the bird for you, and that was the whole point of what they were, why they were going down to, like, you know, open that guy's sarcophagus or whatever. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Do you think the pyramid in the basement was just the tip of a giant buried pyramid? Because that's pretty cool. I like that. That is a pretty cool observation. If that is true, that's pretty cool. That's a cool thought. Hard being a critic, I see. LOL. But that's why I'm not trying to be a critic. I don't want to be a critic. I just want to talk movies with you, with people, with you guys. By the way, Siskel and Ebert liked Cat People 82. Swallow that. Dude, they made us watch that movie. Um, my freshman year in college, I took a film studies class, which is kind of the class that let me know I wanted, like, it let me know I want, like, hey, you should do filmmaking. Like, that's where I found a passion for filmmaking and realized, like, oh shit, you can actually do this as a career, filmmaking. That's pretty cool. They showed us Cat People in that class, and yeah, I didn't. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? They also showed us Citizen Kane though, and that was pretty cool. I'd never seen that either. How'd you like the sandstorm that didn't seem to phase the dad as he ran around? Again, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, you're right. Like, he didn't even cover his mouth or anything. Um, that's why we love you, Hayden. Everything is subjective. Thank you for understanding. I'm not trying to start any arguments with people. I just like, if I loved it, I love talking about how and why I loved it or how much I loved it. And same if I hated it. And I didn't totally hate this movie, but I had to talk a little bit of shit. I went in with zero expectations, burnt a bowl, and had two gummies. It was the best comedy of the year so far for me. Now that must have been, that's probably the experience Lee Cronin wanted everyone to have. Maybe that's what I did wrong. I didn't partake in some enhancements during the movie. Damn, Scratch, I'm a lightweight with that. Just give me an IPA and I'm good. Hell yeah, Chris. I have high anxiety too and an introvert, so gotten very hard to go to the theater for these. Oh man, and I'm kind of a I have anxiety too. That's the main reason I don't partake in the THC very often, if ever. I can't imagine though seeing this movie on edibles. That must have been crazy. It probably would be the perfect edibles movie though. Um, just take a deep breath and go up, up and away. Scratch Burno's The Gummy. Oh man, that's great, Barney. The film sounds like Manhattan Baby from Fulci, which I like 6 out of 10 for that. Hmm, I've never even heard of that, but I'm not so well versed on Fulci. All right, I think I've talked enough shit about this movie now. All right, so this movie was very critically acclaimed, so I finally had to watch it. It was just an accident. I think this was on Hulu. Hulu surprisingly has a lot of the like previous awards contenders from the Oscars and stuff like that, critically acclaimed movies. So if you're looking for those types of movies, there's a ton on there that like if there's a ton that I missed out on from like various awards ceremonies and stuff that like won awards and stuff. This was one of them. So I'm glad I was able to watch it. It's good. I think it's definitely overrated though. I think everyone's just talking so highly about it because the director. It's an Iranian film made by an Iranian guy who apparently has been to jail a few times for the movie he's made. Because over there, I guess, if you speak out against the government within like art or media or films, especially, they can put you in jail for that, which is pretty fucked up. Um, and this movie has that element of like anti-government, anti like authority. So I guess the Iranian government didn't like it. I don't know the whole story. Um, but I don't know. Even though it's a good movie, I think that the excessive praise is mostly because of the story behind the movie, to be honest. I still think it's a good movie and you should watch it, though. So I'm kind of contradicting myself here, but I don't know. May have missed you mention it, but did you check out the RZA's One Spoon of Chocolate? No, but I want to. I almost went to see that the other day. I'm definitely gonna try to see that. Scratch, have you seen it, and or has anyone in the chat seen it? I'm very curious to know what anyone thought about it. If you've seen it, I know it's presented by Quentin Tarantino, whatever the fuck that means, but um, I think I did like see a trailer for this before another movie and thought it looked interesting, but I'm not positive. Either way, though, I'm gonna try to go see it because I'm at that point where I think I've seen just about everything that's out right now at the theater that I want to see, except for that movie. Oh, what's the movie? That movie that came out not long ago. That's for some reason, at least currently, only playing at AMC with Samara Weaving and that one comedy guy. Oh, what movie is it? You guys probably already know what I'm talking about. I still need to see that. That's like the one movie that's at the theater currently. Oh, I want to see Desert Warrior. I think that actually looks interesting from the trailer that I saw. Desert Warrior looks interesting, but they only have like one showtime a day for that, so I don't know if I'll be able to see it. Over Your Dead Body. I still need to see that. I think that's like the one movie that's still out at the theaters that I need to see. All right. Anyway, moving on. I was highly disappointed with it. Oh well, shit. Okay. I mean, I'll still probably go see it, but damn, that's not good. Means Quentin got paid to put his name on it. Oh, I was stoked for it. Says Scratch. Thoughts on Civil War? Which Civil War? Are we talking Alex Garland? Because I fucking love that movie. That was I believe, my favorite movie of the year that year. And I maintain that sentiment. I love that movie. If we're talking like Avengers Civil War, I haven't seen it. But I assume you're probably talking about. You're either talking about Alex Garland, Avengers, or historical documentary. I don't know. So yeah, it was just an accident. Let's move on to the next one. All right, this is the big one for the night. Even though I don't know how much I really have to say about it besides I loved it. Hokum. Fuck yeah, man. This is the movie I've been waiting for. This is I think this might be my favorite movie of the year. It's definitely I think the best movie of the year so far. I still need to rewatch Night Patrol to accurately change my list, my ongoing favorite movies of the year list. But right now, it's definitely like top three, if not number one. This movie, directed by the guy Damian McCarthy, I believe is his name. As Dan said, it's a must see. The Out of everything I've seen this entire year, this is the must see movie above anything else. If you love horror, you got to see this. All right, Adam Scott is great. He's not a likable character, but he plays it so perfectly. It's basically a sequel to Step Brothers. If if Derek decided to become a writer and goes to Ireland. Okay, don't think about it like that. That might actually ruin the experience for you. But no, Adam Scott is great as an asshole in this movie. This movie's creepy as fuck. It it has all the shit that I love. It has paranormal shit. It's got like creepy imagery. It's got ghosts and shit, witches, fucking creepy ass hotel shit. Um, I don't want to say too much though, because I don't know. I don't want to ruin anything. As with every movie, I always recommend going in blind to every movie, and I try to myself go in blind as much as I can to every movie. But you got to go see this. Napalm, have you ever been to Ireland? I have not. There's a whole bunch of the UK that I would love to visit. I've been to London. I've been to Paris, France. Those are both in the same trip, which is pretty fun. I've been to Italy. I think that's about it for that side of the map. I've never even been anywhere in Asia, but um, but yeah, this is. Well, I don't know. Is Ireland even in Europe? I don't know. That's all complicated. Like apparently, like 5 to 10 years ago or something, the EU like split up or some shit. I don't know. Don't don't listen to anything I'm saying in regards to geography. I don't fucking know. But no, I've never been to Ireland. I don't know why. I felt like I needed to go on that little tangent about how I don't know anything about Europe, but Hokum, great fucking movie. Yeah, I'm gonna go see it again now that it's finally like out on wide release. As I mentioned earlier, I got to see this early at the AMC Scream Unseen that they do every Monday. Well, mostly every Monday, I believe. Um, does anyone have any idea, Dan or anybody, what tomorrow's AMC Scream Unseen is going to be? I'm going to try to go, depending on what the predictions are. But the East Coast gets it first, so they're able to tell us on the Reddit forums. So we know, usually going in, what it's going to be ahead of time with enough notice for me to go on down there if it seems good. I don't know if they. I'm assuming they're gonna do one tomorrow. I haven't even looked though. Anyway, really happy to have seen this early. Um, I had some minor issues with Hokum, but it was pretty good. Probably my favorite so far. Hell yeah. I would think Obsession would probably be it. Comes out on the 15th. Dude, that would be fucking awesome. I've been waiting to see that. Hayden, you could play the Highlanders zany best friend in the new movie. They're making a new Highlander movie. That's interesting. Is fucking Mel Gibson involved? No wait, no, he didn't do Highlander, did he? What? No, he did that other. What movie was it that he directed? I can't remember. I don't know what I'm talking about. Ancestry is half off on Black Friday. If you've ever had blood drawn, you don't have to be paranoid about a company having your DNA. Oh, really? Because I give blood um, as often as I can, especially because I'm O negative. They always need O negative blood since it's universal. I should ask him about that. Hmm. Yeah, then I don't have to give my DNA to the feds. All right, back to the movies. So Hokum, I had never seen. I had seen Oddity, directed by the same guy, and really loved it. But I'd never seen his first film, Caveat. He's only done 3 so far. So I went and I saw Caveat. Well, I didn't go anywhere. I saw it on Shudder at my apartment, but yeah, this movie is also pretty good. I do think his movies are getting better. Like Caveat's my least favorite, but still like a good ass movie that if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's probably not for everybody, but yeah. And also, this guy knows how to do horror with some comedy. Going back to Hokum for a second, well, all of his movies really, but Hokum especially. That's how you do horror that's dark, creepy, suspenseful, with some jokes thrown in, without the jokes defusing the tension entirely and making the movie a joke. This guy knows how to do it. And and yeah, I don't know what else to say. Caveat is really good. Oddity, even better. Hokum, even better. All right, listen. You heard it from me first. Maybe not first, but check this guy out. Damien, am I getting his name right? Is it Damien McCarthy? Yeah, Damien McCarthy. Thank God. I didn't want to be misrepresenting this guy by saying his name wrong. Damien McCarthy is a fucking genius. Caveat is in English. Oddity is not in English. Hokum is in English. So if you don't like subtitles, you're safe with Caveat and Hokum. But, you know, Oddity, you gotta see it. You gotta see it as well. Yeah. But yeah, I did think it was interesting that like Caveat, because yeah, again, Oddity was the only movie I'd seen by this guy, so I just thought all of his movies. I mean, again, he's only done 3, but I assumed they were all in another language with subtitles because of Oddity. Wait, is Oddity is in another language, right? Or is it like half and half? I can't remember. I don't want to be putting false information out there. Dan says caveat so fucking good. Um, Sorry, I missed a few comments. Hold on. Oh damn, I missed a lot of. How did I miss these? Hold on. Henry Cavill is Connor and Dave Bautista is the Kurgan in the new Highlander. I assume we're talking about. Yeah, do a DNA test. My money's on 85% Irish. That's probably what it is. And does it mean anything that I click with this guy's comedy and horror? I don't know. Maybe. Neuralink will be in newborn, and I'd say 15 years tops. Yeah, that's so weird to think about that the technology, I believe, already exists. It's just not widely available to where you can design what you want your baby to look like, at least with certain aspects like eye color and stuff. I don't know how I feel about that. That's that's almost like too science fictiony for me. I don't know. I do not have high hopes for the new Highlander, says Chris. The new Highlander stars Henry Cavill, Russell Crowe, Karen Gillan, Batista, and Jeremy Johns. Oh damn! Oh, Jeremy Irons. I was like, yeah, I didn't. That'd be hilarious to see Jeremy Johns just show up in a fucking Highlander movie. A caveat so fucking good, says Dan. I already read that. Orc says, yeah, I did mine on a shitty site where I got it for free, and it said I was Balkan. Turns out I'm 50% Irish, 30% Polish. Explains a lot. After getting it done on Ancestry, Oddity was a bit overrated to me. 6 out of 10. Revenge story getting old. How long till McCarthy gets sucked into the IP machine? God, I fucking hope not. Oh, they already have designer babies. Elon has had his kids selected for a certain height. They say Barron Trump is a designer baby. That's why he's so much taller than anyone in his family. God, and I believe it. Like I know that could sound like a joke, but it probably is true. God, how are they going to do sports if everyone, the rich at least, can like pay to design their baby to be a fucking like prime athlete or tall as fuck or whatever, muscular or whatever the fuck. Can you imagine they're putting baby embryos on creatine and fucking lifting weights? In the late 90s, China would let you pick one kid, male or female. Guess which they chose. I'm glad people think AI and bots, robots, etc. are fun and happy times. Any top tech guy literally says a Skynet scenario is 50% possible. Yeah, dude. They're going to kill us all, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll fight our best, and death is inevitable no matter what. So, fuck it. All right. So caveat's great. I think we're nearing the end here. Yep. I only got 3 more. Mother Mary. Dan, did you guys cover this already? I can't remember if that was on your last show. If so, I need to catch up on that because I really want to know. And you can give me like some cliff notes here without spoiling your entire review. But I really want to know what you and Ben, especially, well, and anyone else who's seen it, but I want to know what you guys thought of this movie. It's by Texas filmmaker. What's his name? Texas filmmaker David Lowery. I believe he's from Dallas. Not that that matters, but you know. Texas born and raised, baby. Anyway, Mother Mary. Not this Mother Mary. This Mother Mary. I don't know what to say about this movie, man. The first half of this movie I thought was brilliant and really good and entertaining as fuck. And then it just kind of dropped off a cliff for me a little bit once they started getting into the ghost shit. And again, I love ghost shit, but not this kind of ghost shit. This was like, I don't know. Okay, the Ouija board stuff was interesting. When Michael Cole starts describing that she like saw a ghost or whatever, that's where they started to lose me. And then it got, it had some interesting moments still left, but I don't know. I can't say it's a bad movie though, because like I said, the first half I was like pretty riveted. I was like, this is pretty good, you know. Even the pop star shit was pretty good. Catchy music, you know. Anne Hathaway looking hot as fuck at the ripe age of whatever the fuck she is, still banging. You know what I mean? Like, this woman has not aged a day. Like, what is she on? What kind of genetic manipulation is she taking? Because I need some of that shit. It's probably too late. I'm basically bald. Um, but holy shit. Michael, the black girl lady, she's pretty hot too. And I didn't know who she was before this movie. That's about it. I don't know. Um, where am I at in the comments? Hey man, I want to enjoy McFrappes as long as I can, even though it's been a while, like Aaron Lewis said. Dan says we did Mother Mary. It's a movie you have to think about. Yeah, I don't know if the metaphors and shit worked for me. It's one of those movies where it's like you're not sure if they're being literal or if it's all them speaking in metaphors, but I don't know, it didn't completely work for me. I don't know. To be honest, I was more happy with the Phantom Thread side of it. Not that it has a lot in common with Phantom Thread, but besides the dressmaking aspect and all that, but I don't know. I haven't seen Mother Mary, but I did get to see David Lowery in person. He did an early live Q&A before it came out at my work. Hell yeah. I forgot your Texas, right? Scratch. So you know what's up. Fuck yeah. You got to meet David Lowery. I still haven't seen Ghost Story or A Ghost Story or whatever it's called. It just seems like a movie that'll piss me off for some reason. I don't know why. I just heard it's really slow and kind of boring. But then again, I've also heard it's a masterpiece, so I need to make up my own mind. Dan says she's only 43. Okay, I don't know why. I thought she was like 50. We're talking about Anne Hathaway. Still, she looks great for even 43, but I guess that's a little more understandable. Just been around a long time. But she still does look exactly how she's looked. Or, like, I don't know. You know what I mean. Ben says, I loved Mother Mary coming out of the theater, but the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, that's kind of dumb. That's kind of how I felt at the halfway mark of the movie. Um, I don't know. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Ain't nothing but a peanut lightweight. Yeah, ATX. Yeah, buddy. Rolling like a big shot. Let me do that again. Yeah, buddy. There we go. It's the Dio double law. Also, they build up to this big reveal for a new song that sucked, and that dress was trash. I don't know much about dresses, but I thought the dress looked pretty good. The final red dress that I don't think we ever actually get to see her wear, do we? I'm pretty sure they just show it at the very end, right? But like, are you talking about the? You're talking about the one where she's stripping everything off, right? Yeah, that song fucking sucked. And yeah, that there was like a huge build up to that moment, and then yeah, it was just limp noodle. Rooney Mara, Rooney has a 5 minute scene crying and eating pie. I have heard about the infamous pie eating scene in a ghost story. This cat is slow as hell. You need to do a line of Coca Cola, to go through your movies and read chat. Chat. Oh, this chat is slow as fuck. Okay. I'm trying my best. I'm trying. Believe it or not, I I had a coffee like around like 5 p.m. today and a fucking Mountain Dew, baby. Separated. That would be a horrible combo. Can you imagine? But I'm all caffeinated up personally, but it's still taking me a while to get through this. But tonight's one of those nights where I'll probably be awake all night. Do a watch party for a ghost story. That might make it more fun if it is a slow movie. Everybody want to be a bodybuilder, but nobody want to lift no heavy ass weight. Best late night YouTube show, hell yeah. I don't know if you're referring to my show or not, but thank you either way. Okay, moving on. Mother Mary, Deep Water. Deep Water. The next Rennie Harlan joint, followed by his three pretty shitty Strangers movies. What the fuck is this shit? This movie's not terrible, but it's not good. And for me, it wasn't even like. It was just below the line of enjoyably bad. It's just so average. Like, I feel like I've seen this movie a million times before, and I'm sure we'll get a million more movies like this. It's about a fucking plane that crashes into the ocean because this asshole guy, who becomes a main character, unfortunately, in the movie, it's set up that, like, his phone charger's malfunctioning and shorting out, but he puts it in his bag anyway, and of course it catches fire, and fucks up the plane, so they crash into the ocean, and there's the most hyperactive human hunting sharks that have ever existed in the waters that they crash land into. And that's about it. The movie's just about how if anyone sticks a finger into the water, they swarm like piranhas and they'll eat your ass up. Which is not how sharks work, but I don't expect every shark movie to be scientifically accurate, but this one just wasn't good. Like 27 meters down uncaged, the sequel is better than the original, but Uncaged, that movie's ridiculous as fuck. We got blind sharks, fucking whirlpools and shit. It's fucking nuts, but it's so fucking awesome. This movie is just average as fuck, man. I don't know how else to describe it. Cliche as fuck. That asshole dude won't shut the fuck up until they finally somebody punches him in the face, but only after he punches them in the face first. Anyway, I'm fucking done with Rennie Harlan. Like, I don't, I don't. I know he's done some like good movies in the past or whatever. I don't think I've seen any of them. I wish a big corporation would pay you like 250K a year if you went live for like 4 hours every night. Dude, that would be fucking amazing. And I would love that. Um, yeah, man. Cause I've been having to work my ass off so fucking much lately. I've been exhausted. I wish I could do more live streams just for fun. But thank you, Orc. I really appreciate it. After all the noobs and normies went to bed, I really only dig Jaws 1, 2, and Deep Blue Sea, to be honest. Says Orc. Fair enough, yeah. Orc says Sam Jackson pro speech and then insta death. I don't think I've ever seen Deep Blue Sea. I know that this guy directed that, so maybe I need to see it, but I don't know, man. I'm done with this guy, man. Some of you guys will probably enjoy this more than I did. But again, it's just like so cliche. Every story beat, every character is cliche as fuck. It's predictable as fuck. The shark shit's not even good in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, man, these characters are awful. Um Aaron Eckhart plays a fucking shitty dad who won't even go see his son who has cancer or some shit. He just keeps taking gigs at work as a pilot to get away from his family because he can't face the fact that his son's about to die. So you don't even like him. He's a fucking asshole dad in the movie. Well, it's not that he's even like directly an asshole. He's just neglectful. He's a shitty father. So you can't even care about him. These kids that you're supposed to care about are just the most cliche fucking. Anyway, fuck this movie. IDK how he fell off so bad. Who? Samuel Jackson? He's still doing shit, but I know what you mean. Like he's seems like he's not the leading man he used to be. He's kind of taken a back seat and has just done like a bunch of small roles, cameo stuff for a while. Deep Water started out as a sequel to Bait. Hmm. Oh, and it's not sharks, but I really dug Crawl. I still need to see that Orc. I heard that I did. I've heard that that's good. Orc says I think you would like Deep Sea, but there's probably better films to watch first with Encyclopedia Dan. I still should give it a shot, but now we're gonna get to what could be a movie I save for next month, but because I watched half of it technically last month and the other half this month, but fuck it, I want to talk about it, and that is Inferno, the Dario Argento movie. This is on Shudder, and about maybe 6 months ago. So I'd seen Suspiria about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. I loved it, and ever since then I've been meaning to watch the technically sequel, second in a trilogy, sort of. I mean, I think you could say that. Um. So anyway, about 6 months ago, I sat down to watch this on Shudder. Within the first like 15 to 20 minutes, I was like, this is might be better than fucking Suspiria. You know, this chick is like just the visuals and the setting, and she's diving into this like creepy ass dreamlike pool to get her keys that she dropped, and I don't know. Just visually, I fucking ate this shit up. The first like half of this movie is fucking incredible. Um, like the one chick, or I think it's this chick, right? The chick, when they go to her apartment before the first death in the movie, um, I wish we could have spent more time with the women in this movie, but they all have to fucking die, and then we follow around the most boring ass fucking dude who's clueless as fuck for the rest of the fucking movie. There are, and I'd heard this before seeing it, there are a lot of problems story wise with this movie, but when the visuals hit, when the visuals hit, the visuals hit. Okay. There are scenes in this movie that are just, the locations are fucking awesome. The lighting, the creepiness, the fucking, when the one chick goes to the library to get the book, fucking, I wish that we still had libraries like that. And I know they exist, but they're few and far between. Um, Obviously, it's not as good as Suspiria, but for a second there, I thought it might be. And I still really like this movie. Yeah. God, and it's kind of frustrating because there's so many different directions and changes that they could have made to make this a better movie story wise. But, we still got some really cool set pieces like visuals and settings and all that. So that's already ahead of a lot of movies these days. But yeah, I wish we could have stayed in that first girl's apartment when she, after she gets the book and scared out of the library by the witch person or whatever. And she's like too scared to go by herself. So she brings that fucking dude up to her apartment with her. And then the power starts flickering. That shit's just amazing. That scene is amazing. Um, I wish we could have spent more time with that girl and in her apartment. That's so fucking like such a cool apartment. Let me catch up with the chat now. Dude, it's so much fun. Florida. Oh, you're talking about Crawl. Okay. Florida flooding set around the Gainesville area and a hot chick with rising waters. That's all I'll say, says the work. Hell yeah. Yeah, and I know Rennie Harlan did Die Hard 2, which I haven't seen, and Nightmare on Elm Street 4, which I haven't seen, Cliffhanger, which I haven't seen. But anyway, back to Inferno. Inferno, 8 out of 10, love it. Hell yeah, says Chris. Black Glove reviews. Now, should I, because I really want to go down an Argento rabbit hole now. Should I go to Tenebrae? Should I go to Deep Red next? Or should I go to the third in this trilogy, separated by like a decade or two? Mother of Tears, I believe, is the title, right? Should I go to the third now? Even though I've heard nothing but bad things about it. Like, I'm just wondering, should I go immediately to the third? Or should I stick with the good Argento for a minute? With Deep Red, which I've heard is amazing. And with Tenebrae, which I've heard is amazing. What should I do? Which direction should I go? And I feel like, Chris, you're the right person to ask for that advice. The soundtrack is dope in this film. Dude, the soundtrack is so fucking crazy. It's almost like carnival crazy rock opera shit, but I love it. Um Best intro to any horror film of all time, Suspiria. There is Suspiria, in my opinion, especially with Technicolor. Dude, yeah. Suspiria on 4K looks amazing. You all have a great evening. Catch you later. Damn it. We're not going to get Chris's advice on where I need to go with Argento. Well, Dan, you can hopefully fill me in, and anyone else if you have an opinion on what I should do next within Argento. But yeah, have a good night, Chris, even though I know you're probably already gone by now because I'm slow at reading the chat. Take care, Black Gloves. I hope you get off work early, dude. Hell yeah. Dan says, I love Inferno. Orc says, same. Jeff says he loves Inferno too. Inferno is underrated, says Scratch. Yeah, dude. When I don't know why, like everything that I heard was so negative about it, about how it doesn't make any sense and how it's. I don't know. Based on what everyone was saying, I was expecting like an incoherent mess, which is not at all how I would describe this. Yeah, there are parts that don't really connect well or certain things that don't make clear sense, but still a great movie. If nothing else, for the visuals alone. Um, when Argento hits, he fucking hits a grand slam every single time, says Org. Hell yeah. Dan says maybe Squishy disappeared and became a couch after checking out the book from the movie. I still don't understand that. Like, so the witches, the three witches are trying to keep people away from the book that reveals their secrets, their history, like their ancestry. What the fuck? What the fuck is it? I still have no clue. Um, all I know is if you get caught with that book at the wrong place at the wrong time, your ass is dead. But I kind of like that there's mystery there. I don't know. I'm sure there's an answer out there. Opera Deep. Oh yeah, I own Opera on Blu-ray as well, and I still haven't put it in there and watched it. Opera Deep Red, Suspiria, Inferno. I could go on and all bangers. I think I'll probably just stick with what I know to be, or what I've heard is the good Argento movies, the ones you just mentioned, before I move on to like seeing the third in this trilogy. Have you seen Die Hard 1 or 3? I've seen the first Die Hard, but that's it. I know you're a big fan of them. Um, I've still only seen Lethal Weapon 1 as well. I know that's another one that's shocking to a lot of people. Oh, and no, I haven't seen Opera, but I own it, which is kind of weird. Watch all his. When the 4K of Opera came out, I took that opportunity to buy the Blu-ray for like $5 on eBay from somebody upgrading. Watch all of his films, says Dan. Have you seen the trailer for the Python Hunt? Dock of Florida, folks hunting pythons for money, says Scratch. I have not, but that sounds really interesting. Is that like a movie, or is that like a YouTube sort of movie? Either way, I'm interested. That's right up my alley. I watch a lot of like snake related content. Just watch in order of release. Okay. What Dan says Orc. His Dracula is ass. I didn't that when I was looking him up the other day after watching Inferno. I was surprised to see that he did a Dracula movie. I don't think I've heard anybody mention it, but I guess if it's not good, that makes sense, I guess. Put it this way, Canada's best horror sci-fi thriller director, Cronenberg, USA, Carpenter, Italy, Argento. Watch almost all their films. Hell yeah. Dan says, only Fox Pixar has read from the book and survived. Scratch Burno, it's a movie doc, but the trailer has a weird thing where it almost seems like a mockumentary, but that could just be the Florida folks. What's it called? Is there like a specific... Did you already say the specific title? Well, let's go ahead and watch this Python fucking documentary and hope I don't get blocked from YouTube for watching it. Don't forget to hit the like button on this video. I appreciate all you guys for coming in and watching, as always. But hold on, let me... Alright, what is it? Scratch, what is this, what's the title of the documentary again? And then wasn't there another trailer I was gonna watch for something? So many Asian horror masters org. That's tough. Okay.
The first-time python hunters, each hopeful of cashing in an award-winning snake during the Florida Python Challenge.
The $10,000 prize, is that for the biggest snake or the most snakes?
I believe it's for the most snakes.
And I am gonna pith them. Put an ice pick down in their brain and scramble their brains.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation
Grandma.
Commission is ready to do whatever it takes to
I feel like she's a little too excited about that concept, but
remove the Burmese python.
she is a
The
Floridian.
10-day competition calls on both professionals and novices.
I welcome everyone to join us in hunting this invasive snake and saving our beautiful Everglades.
I want to look good. I don't want these locals thinking I'm just some sloppy San Franciscan.
The Python Challenge has turned into like the Burning Man of snake hunting. It brings the wrong kind of attention to this problem.
Snake! Snake, 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 snake. It's a python! Oh!
Yeah, get it.
Boom! Oh, shit. It's a big one, man.
Have you seen people get snake eyes? When they pick up the snake and they're like hypnotized in another reality.
Bless this hunter, regardless if he catches the biggest snake out there or he catches the most, Lord.
Wow, it's Amy the Python Huntress, baby!
I am going to catch a 20-footer.
You know, everyone's out here. It's got different motives.
If you ever watch Scooby-Doo, it always turns out the real monsters are always people.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
sweetie, it's me. I just had a little micro dose and wish me some good snaking luck, and I'll see you soon. Oh!
That's great. Oh, shit. Is this available to watch, like, right now? How do I watch this? What the fuck? I need to watch this. Work says, you know Floridians are fucking crazy when you guys from Texas are like, they need to chill sometimes. Yeah. AKA Texans. Alright, wasn't there something else we were going to watch? Like a trailer for some movie or something? What was it? I don't know. You know, as I always say, I try to avoid trailers, but sometimes it is fun just to watch some. Like that was fun. That's not really a trailer that would ruin the movie, though. But let me see if this is available anywhere. The trailer was posted 12 days ago, so that documentary may not be out yet. Let's see. Oh, they've got upcoming screenings in May. Let's see if Texas is on there. Oh, Dallas, Texas. Angelica Film Center. May 15th. Fuck yeah. I'm gonna mark that on my calendar, goddammit. I'm really mad because there's a guy who did a documentary that's, I believe it's still playing at festivals currently, on projectionists and the art of being a projectionist, like a film projectionist, which is it feels like a slowly shrinking industry. And they played it at a local festival here, and I if I'd known about it at that time, I could have gone to see it. And I'm very interested in film, just film in general, film movies, film projection, film photography, and let me see. I'd love to give that documentary a shout out, but I might try to go see this Python documentary. May 15th. What day is that? Dude, fuck yeah. That's actually the last day of the film grip classes that I'm taking. So that'd be a perfect way to kind of like celebrate getting my grip certification. I'll just put Python movie. Hell yeah. I hope I can make it. Fuck yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, that yeah, let me see if I can. I do want to give a shout out to that projection documentary. A large part of the documentary covered the main projectionist at the Texas Theater in Dallas, which is where Lee Harvey Oswald got arrested after shooting JFK. Fun fact. The Man in the Upper Room, a film by Sean Allen Stone. Hell yeah. That's it. The Man in the Upper Room. I don't think it's available yet because I think it's still on the festival circuit, but I haven't even seen it. I can't wait to see it. I'm not involved with it at all. I just think it looks cool. I need to get off of here, but thank you guys as always for watching. I will see you guys at least next month, if not sooner, for my next What I Watched live stream. But yeah, life's going pretty good for me, like luckily at the moment, but unfortunately that means less YouTube shit because I've been so busy, but it's a good thing. Yeah. But again, thank you guys and have a good night, and I'll hopefully see you guys soon. Peace out.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.